Okay, preparing for a winter storm. This is just our advice. This is what we've done, and it's worked for us for years. Okay, so any pen that was low-lying, we've put fill in so that we don't end up with a bunch of ice and wet. And then we don't, by and large, do bedding, but in the pens where we're not doing bedding, we're going to do a little bit of bedding. Now you can use hay, you can use straw, you can use shaving. Straw is supposed to be insulating because it's hollow, but it also is not absorbent. We don't do bedding in most of the pens because we want to be able to clean them properly, and bedding can lend to parasitic problems. So hay is got some of the aspects of straw in the fact that it has hollow particles that hold air, which holds insulation, and it also is absorbent. But sawdust is more absorbent, but it's not as insulating because it hasn't got the loft. So that's up to you, but by and large we're doing hay. We're doing grass hay, and we're on a local grass hay, not the $25 a bale kind. Otherwise we wouldn't be using it for bedding. Okay, so we'll come along here and see what else we're doing. We went to the feed store and we got stocked up on feed in as much as we could on the budget we have at this moment. So we got the bare essentials that will definitely see us through the storm. And so looking for power outages. We're on a well, so we filled all of our buckets. We have high iron and tannins. This is what the yellow is. So we filled all of our buckets and then some, so that in case the power goes out, we're not having to scramble for water for the animals. Of course, you want water up for your own use, for drinking and otherwise. And we went ahead and made our last run for produce, so that we've got that up for the animals as well. We want to make sure that all of the pens are clean and not wet. We want to make sure that all of our pens are headed in the proper direction. The wind is from the south, south, and west. For problem areas like that. And if you can turn the pen the other way, it really should have been turned the other way to begin with. You don't want rain or snow, as it were, blowing into your pens. And then somebody asked us about rabbits. What are you going to do to prepare for the cold for your rabbits? And we advised her that the rabbits don't need a lot. Rabbits, all animals actually deal very, very well with cold, better with cold than heat. Even when we were working with kangaroos from Australia, that was the case. So with rabbits, if you have a female particularly, again, face the hutch away from the prevailing winds, but a nest box that also serves as a hay basket, and fill it up with some nice clean hay, and that's a nice insulating little bed for her. Hi, little Cinderella. And then keep an eye on the water bottles, because they tend to freeze, and you may have to bring them in and thaw them, or bring them in at night when it's the coldest. But that's what we've done to prepare for the winter storm, and of course having up flashlights and batteries ahead. We didn't have to scramble off to the hardware store and get these things, because we are already kind of minded that way to make sure we have what we need. And also, of course, if you have a generator, check on your generator, make sure it's still in operating condition, because as we all know, the fuel has a hard time staying good, and the carburetors have a hard time staying good because of the fuel. So you want to do that, and just button up everything you can. And of course, we've already had one power outage with the little chicks, and they weathered it just fine, thank the Lord. And we have running an incubator and had 4 broods of chicks at the same time. They're a little bit old. We typically try not to do chicks this time of year, but it's just the way it turned out. We were in dire need of some replacements, possibly for Doodle-Doodle-Roo for being a naughty, naughty chicken, and certainly for the fact that we don't have the amount of chickens we need to perpetuate our rare breed flock. Oh, harder to open than I thought. Okay, so this is our brooder, and our different breeds of chicks in there. And we spent a little bit of restlessness when the power went out, worrying if they'd be okay or not. And then we'll see if the rare breed chicks in the incubator came out. You know, if they have backward legs or anything, then we'll know why. Just the way it is with temperature fluctuations and hatching chicks. And you can, if the power goes out when you're running your incubator, you can cover it with a blanket and hope for the best. You know, sometimes the hen will get off of a nest overnight and the eggs are still viable. So, you know, as long as it's not out too long. But that's what we've been doing to prepare for the cold weather on everybody.